I can be some big business guy that only worries about making himself a ton of money, or I can get 10 people and just 100% focus on them making the type of money I'm making. Because if I got 10 people wide growing and doing the exact same thing I'm trying to do, then I'm 10xing my own personal business.
All right, welcome to the next level. Got my man Stanley Smith with us today. What's up, Stanley?
Man, how are you?
I'm doing awesome, dude. How are you?
Dude, blessed.
Yeah.
Excited to be here, man. I love this.
I appreciate you coming out, dude. A little different from back home.
Yeah, I was like, they booked a flight. I didn't know where I was going. They booked a flight, and it was like CT. I'm like, I think that's Connecticut. I've never been there in my life. So,
What's the closest you've been to, like, New Jersey, that area?
I've been to New Jersey, New York.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing I've been to up here.
Got it. You grew up outside of Chicago?
Yeah, I was like 3 hours from Chicago until I was like, I think I had been to Chicago once my entire life up until the age of like 18 or something.
Got
Like
it.
it wasn't something that was normal.
Yeah.
My like second time ever in Chicago was the day I moved into my first penthouse.
No shit. But what we're going to talk about today, Stanley, is sales, recruiting. You know, we had you on True Talk, so if you haven't checked that out, go check out Stanley's story. But what I want to talk about is something we touched on your True Talk. We were talking about selling, how that's first of all step one, right? If I join FFL today, my job is to learn how to sell. Now, thankfully, there's people you can learn from. There's training. There's a whole deal. That's just one piece of what we do, though. The next step is now, if you're going to recruit, you got to teach somebody how to sell, right? So they can sell. Then the step after that is, can you teach someone to teach someone how to sell? Because there's only one of you.
And that's the hardest part.
It's the hardest part, dude. Not everyone can do that. But the guys that have figured that out are the ones that have built the bigger businesses, right? You have, how many agents have been paid on a policy that are part of your group so far this year?
This year, I think about 230.
230. So I would assume that you've probably taught some people to teach some people how to sell.
100%.
You had to.
Yeah.
Of those three, what was the hardest for you? Learning to sell, learning to teach someone, or teaching someone to sell?
Mine was teaching to teach someone how to sell.
Okay.
You know, because I not that I was a micromanager, but I just wanted this business to boom so bad. So I was involved in everything. And it wasn't until about 2-3 months ago where I took a step back, not because I wanted to work less or anything like that, but because I realized I needed these people to develop and grow. And we went backwards last month for the first month in like 12 months.
Okay.
And it was simply because I took myself out of it and I made these people lead and really turn it up. I watched the production drop for about 2 to 3 weeks, and then I watched the production hit an all-time high. We were doing about 200 to 250 a day in sales. Then we went to about 150 to 180, sometimes even a little lower for like 2-3 weeks when I opened another office and I stepped out of it and, you know, pushed everyone to develop their own thing.
Yeah.
And then next thing I know, we're doing 350 every single day. We're slinging right now.
Yeah.
You're about to see us explode.
Love it. And looking back at your numbers, the growth is crazy. We were talking a little bit before we got on that. You guys are probably the quickest to Agency Hall of Fame.
I think so.
Assume. We're going to double check that, but I believe that is true. Your first year, now you joined us, May of 23?
May of 23.
Okay, so not a full year. You're 5 months into the year. Your agency did $567,000.
And I think I was like 50% of that.
Yeah, because you sold 274. Yeah, you're just about 50%. So a couple guys selling some insurance. Then the following year, last year, 2025, $5 million. So 10 times what you did in 23. And this year, this is as of halfway through June. Actually, it was like 14 and change.
14.6
$14 million through June.
Yep.
How? What happened? How'd you go from 5 million to 14 million?
The 5 million to 14 million. The 14 million is 100% a result of all the time, energy, and effort and all the work and all the recruiting we were doing but not getting paid on.
Okay.
Right? So we've been blowing this thing up for so long, it's just been waiting to explode, and then it did.
Yeah.
But from 5 to 14, that's obviously a little bit of adding in people, 100%. We've definitely added in probably about 80 to 100 bodies.
Yeah.
Right? But step one to figuring that out was we took the 100 we already had and we figured out how to 2X them. Like, how can we just double everything you guys are already doing?
Right.
Right. And that's going to be the majority of our numbers. And that's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
Like 40, 50 grand a month was like, oh, you're a big dog. And then we turned that up to 190 a month is big dog.
Dude,
So
that's how we started this company. Like, legit, when our first year, 2014, our number one producer, Stanley, sold like 300K. There was no Hall of Fame back then.
Yeah.
Like 300 puts you number one. Number two was like 200.
now it's number one, like 1.5
Dude, number
million.
one's about to be 2 million. Like, pretty
It's
soon you have to
insane.
sell 5 million personally to be number one. But when we grew initially, yeah, we were recruiting, but it was the same guys from 2014 came out the following year and sold almost twice as much because they saw one guy do it. John Wetmore, you know John Wetmore?
Yep.
He was one of the first to go, well, dude, it's just a numbers thing. So if I'm spending X amount of time selling 30K a month, if I double that time, I can sell 60.
Literally.
Let me look at, if I'm running 10 appointments, I can cram in 5 more. I can take, like, it's just math, dude. It's just numbers. So that same strategy, now you guys are taking it tenfold, but that was our strategy early on was, yeah, we can recruit more, but we got a base of people that can do more. It's just motivating them to do more.
See, I was never huge on like just grabbing legs or, you know, pulling people from other companies or anything like that. Like, I was always so hands-on on making every single person perform at their capacity. Like, I didn't care about if we have 500 people doing $1 million, that's not impressive if we got 50 doing $1 million.
Sure.
You know, like, our average AP per writer has always been the most important thing to me. And you'll see it. Like, it'll be at like 23, 24,000. And then 2 months later, it'll drop down to like 16, 17 because we just onboarded 60, 70 people.
Yeah.
And then you'll see it explode again because we're so focused not on bringing in a ton of people to get paid. We're so focused on bringing in people and getting them paid. Like, that's all we care about is making sure that the people we bring in, because here's the reality of it, is like I can be some big business guy that only worries about making himself a ton of money, or I can get 10 people and just 100% focus on them making the type of money I'm making. Because if I got 10 people wide growing and doing the exact same thing I'm trying to do, then I'm 10Xing my own personal business.
Correct.
Rather than me trying to grow and build and everything like that and just get these guys to do it for me. You know, guess what? I'm only growing at the pace that I can operate. But if I can teach these 10 people how to operate and grow at the pace that I was, we're going to blow this up. We'll do 10 million a month in, I don't even want to say December because we'll do it in November, but and we're only at 3.5. So where are we going to add 6.5 million in the next 5 months? You'll see.
It's out there. The thing is as a company, we're just scratching the surface. We haven't hit $1 billion yet as a company.
Which
we
is
have
insane.
not. It's insane. It's insane because of twofold. Number one, the amount of clients that are out there. The amount of people in this country that are either underinsured or uninsured. I mean, you sold a lot of insurance. How many times you meet with someone that has nothing or, you know, I got this $5,000 policy, which isn't going to do anything, right? And then the amount of people out there that could potentially sell life insurance. Forget about license. There's probably a couple million people that have an insurance license in this country. Most of them are broke. But then how many young kids are there that were in your spot 2-3 years ago that are selling something? Maybe not selling anything. Maybe just trying to get by. But they would have success here if they linked up with the right group.
That's the mission, right?
Yeah.
Because where I came from, we didn't know about this.
Right.
This is some stuff we've never heard of. Like 100% commission-based, making crazy amounts of money, slinging insurance. It doesn't feel real. Right. You're telling me I hop on the phone, I talk to 30 people, I close 30 people, my bank account randomly just increases. I never touch a check. I never touch any cash. Like, it's insane to think about.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I mean, I've been in this business since 2009, whatever the math is on that. And when I started, it was driving to your house, big-ass bag of applications, paper app, 20, 30 pages, 4 or 5 signatures, give me a check, give me all this stuff, then drive to the next one. And I'm not like, up the hill both ways kind of story, but that's where it was, 10, 15 years ago.
That's insane.
Now.
And that's why you were only selling 30, though.
Correct.
It took so much time.
You know how much time we spent in the car, bro? I remember, so is Connecticut small? There's Hartford, which you probably flew into. You flew in somewhere.
I got no idea. They just brought me out here. Right. I don't know where I'm at.
I'm pretty sure it was Hartford, capital of Connecticut. Then there's a town called New Hartford. Now, dude, I was a little bit older than you. I was like 25 years old. I'd never been in this area. I'm thinking Hartford, New Hartford's got to be right down the street, right? So I had my appointments booked on the hour. I'm running late because we're driving from house to house, right? So I plug in a GPS and it says it's an hour and a half away. I'm like, oh shit, my appointment's in like 5 minutes. But what are you gonna do? But to your point, yeah, we spent a lot of time in the car.
That's insane.
Now you get on the phone. So if I'm a client, you call me up, I fill out a form, filled out something online, you talk to me. How long is your average appointment?
25, 30 minutes.
25, 30 minutes. You get me a policy on the phone. I'm covered on the spot. Money changes hands literally minutes later, and you're paid probably the next day.
It's insane.
It's insane.
It is.
Dude, we'd send the application. Hopefully the fax went through. Then they're like, we can't read this part. I'm like, dude, I'll try to refax it. Oh, I forgot this signature. Oh, you missed this. You got to get. And then a week goes by, and maybe you get paid.
If they get approved.
If they get
you
approved.
don't even know.
Correct.
You know, it's not like we get an instant decision now. It's either yes or no, and we can go on to the next company. Back then, you didn't know.
No. So the point is, dude, you can make money quick if you're the right person. Now, part of building an agency, one of the keys to going from $5 million to $13 million is finding a lot of the right people. Also, weeding out the wrong people early on.
100%. A bad. I speak on everything like a disease. It spreads. You got a negative dude, get rid of him immediately because he'll turn. Even if he doesn't affect what you already have, he'll affect what you bring in because what they're exposed to at first is what they're going to think it is. First impressions are everything.
Yep.
You know, you talk about Sean back in the day, how he was 100x what he is now. I've gotten soft. I've gotten extremely soft. Back in the day, it was like everything had to be done 100% correct. You didn't have your feet kicked up. You weren't joking. You weren't laughing. We were on the phone 24/7 because when I bring a new agent in, if you guys are in here screwing around, feet are kicked up, lazy, dressed however you want, that's what he's going to think it is.
Right.
And we're poisoning them when we bring them into that because we can't have them think that's what it is. Right? We need them coming in here ready to go to war 24/7 all day, every day.
Yep. What you see a lot with agencies, so you're very selective in who you recruit. Like you say, they got to move to you. You're looking for young people. You're not really looking for licensed people, which is good. But it creates, for you, more work on the front end, but less work on the back end because you're not dealing with the bullshit. There's a lot of people that recruit this way, Stanley. Can you fog a mirror? Yeah, come join me. And they give everybody a shot, and everyone's going to do it. And it's less work in the beginning because you're not weeding anybody out. You're just taking whoever the hell shows up. But then what happens with that is bad business. You get debt. Chargebacks are part of the business, but you hire enough of the wrong people, you're going to get stuck with a lot of debt.
Well, and here's the thing as well, is like when people are working from home, it's, you know, no matter how disciplined they are, there's a part of them that's lazy. They're not even getting out of their house in the middle of the day, getting ready. And then also it's just like, if I bring on 100 agents and they only sell $5,000 and they leave, that's 500,000 of, you know, debt somewhere.
Sure.
Or 50, whatever it is, the math on it, you know.
Yeah,
we're not math guys, we're money guys.
It's a lot.
So, you know, and it's like we don't lose agents.
Yeah.
Almost every agent we bring in, we keep. We don't lose them because we bring them into an office with 100 people already making money. It's going to be really easy for the next 100 to do it.
Sure. And you're more selective on the front end, which it's going to pay off on the back end, but it's harder work in the beginning.
100%.
Like I believe that it's like, you know, you were talking on the other podcast about you broke up with your girlfriend and then business took off, right? There's red flags in relationships that most people ignore. They're in the honeymoon phase, right? I'm sure you've been there, right? Everything's great. She's awesome. We're awesome. And then all of a sudden you're like, when she does this, it bothers me. That bothers me.
Exactly.
And I'm like, dude, it's been like that the whole time. You was just in this honeymoon phase. It's the same thing with agents. They come in, they're negative, we ignore it. They're complaining, we ignore it. They're not working, we ignore it. Yeah, they'll get better. Get better. Right. And then what happens, dude, down the road? That same agent quits, rolls up a bunch of debt, does a bunch of whatever. But those signs were there the whole time is my point. So if you weed them out early on, if they quit before they get started, it's less bullshit to deal with on the back end.
So easy.
So talk to me about your process, because it is different. Like, again, I'm not bullshit. There's a lot of people that just, you reply, you apply, you're here, you're hired. It shouldn't be that way. What we have is so awesome. Why are we giving it away to everybody?
Literally.
Right?
Yeah. For me, the first thing I always respond to, somebody says, hey, I'm sales. They DM me sales on Instagram. Where are you located? I don't want their number. I don't want to hop on and call them.
Yeah.
Are you willing to relocate? The answer is no, and move on to the next.
You just move on.
Yep.
There's people watching like, that's crazy. How many people are you losing? I don't know, 13 million and 208. I think it's working.
It's working. right? But it's like, because I just, I'm not going to waste 30 minutes of my time on the phone with you if you're just like too scared to move.
Right.
But also, those are my favorite agents. If you're willing to pick up your entire life and go somewhere, oh, bro, we're going to get you paid.
Right.
Right. And then if they're in my area, I'll look at their page right away. If their Instagram's like, I love weed, or, Trap House Mob or something like that, it's like, okay, I'm not responding to that. You got to show me that you're trying to change in some way, shape, or form. You got to show me that like you're serious about this, because that's what it is. Like when you come into insurance, it's not about whether you can sell. It's not about whether you can make money. It's about, are you willing to admit that who you are right now is not who you want to be, and you are going to have to make changes to become that person? Because this is a mental warfare, right? This isn't about sales skills. This isn't about you got money coming into it. You could be broke coming into it. This is simply about, are you mentally strong enough to change who you are in order to become what you need to be?
It's huge.
So, and that's what I'm looking for in people. It's like, first off, are they honest with themselves? Are they willing to admit that their situation sucks and they need to change? Or do they think they're on top of the world? Like if you come in here and you're like, oh, I'm the best ever, yada, yada. It's like, all right, bro.
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah. I used to love those. I could sell. I used to ask, like, okay, I don't need the training, Mike. Just give me the leads. I'm like, oh, God, this guy's going to fail. No, you do need the training. You may not need to be trained for 6 weeks, but you need to do it the way we do it, because we got that part figured out.
100%.
And there's always this back and forth of, well, can anybody do this? I would say this. Do I think that you can teach just about anyone how to sell a policy? Yes. But can anybody do what it takes to become successful here? No. They're not willing to, because it's not easy. Anyone can sell one policy. I can tell you I can give you a script and go say exactly this. When they say
You're
that,
going to get on the phone with some people and they're just going to be like, yeah, I want it. Sign me up now. It'll be a 10-minute phone call.
Dude, it's life insurance, and it's lead-based. Like, there's a third. When we were in the field, we looked at it like this. There's 3/3. There's a third of people that fill out forms, fill out leads, that are laydowns. Anybody's going to close. You could walk in or call them and say basically nothing, give them a price, and they'll buy, because it's life insurance, and they fill out a form. Then there's the third that, dude, probably no one's going to close. They're asking for quote. They're giving you the runaround. But where you really become successful is that other third that you got to push over the line. You got to bring them back to their why. I hate to say sell because they filled something out. Like, I love how Sean says we're order taking. But there's that third where that's where you make your money, dude. Where can you get this guy who is giving you all kinds of shit on the phone? Maybe can you bring him back to that moment where he was at emotionally when he filled out that lead in the first place? And that's the part where that makes or breaks agents, because you get enough of those no's. I mean, I know you've had these guys where 3 or 4 no's and they quit. Oh my God, I can't do it anymore, Stanley. Yeah. But if you can teach them how to work through that piece,
it's
they
that
can be
tone.
successful.
It's that when you speed it up and then you just slow down. Mr. Richards, listen, man, I'm not trying to go back and forth with you. When you filled this out, you were worried that Mary was going to lose everything if something happened to you. At least we can keep something. If 100's too expensive, 50 at least allows her time to breathe in the hardest time of her life. And I know that's all you want. You hit him with that, it's over.
Absolutely.
You hit him with that tone.
Yep.
You get real nice and just slow. And that's a lot of people, like, they get so caught up in the script. They think it's the words they're saying. It's how you're saying
correct.
them. You gotta dive into places with the client that, like, with your voice, because you're doing it over the phone. They can't see you.
Right.
Like, you have to be able to speed up and slow down and, get low, get excited about certain things. Mm-hmm. It's just like a lot of people fail to realize they're talking to actual human beings.
Right.
This, like, that guy went to high school. That guy dropped out of college. That guy got fired from a few jobs. That guy's, had fun or didn't have fun. Like, he was bullied, not bullied. Like, these are real human beings.
Right.
Connect with them on a human level.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, and I've not done it on the phone. I've only done it in home. Right. So it is easier. I'm looking at you across the table.
In home, I've only done 5 in my entire life.
Yeah.
One of them didn't show up. The other 4, easiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
If they open that door, it's a sale.
Right. But how? All right. So you sold a ton on the phone. You got a lot of people selling life insurance. How do you manage that piece over the phone? Because you're not doing virtual. You're not doing Zoom and stuff. You're just doing phone sales, right?
That's it.
How are you connecting and managing that part over the phone?
You gotta take in. One of the things I always say is, especially if you're running age leads, which is what I did.
Yeah.
These people have been called 100 times and pitched the exact same thing. You sound like every agent that's already called them.
Yeah.
I'm the medical underwriter. I'm the senior underwriter. I'm the VA. You know, all these other things. It's like, bro, I'm not.
Right.
I'm just Stanley Smith. Like, I'm a normal dude. You know, you filled this out. I just want to make sure you're taken care of. You know, and that's how I'm connecting with everybody. I approach them in a concerned way.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm raising some sort of concern. They're buying into what I'm saying. And then it's like, I'm seeking to understand. You know, I don't want to be understood. I don't want to tell you why I'm right. I just want to understand, you know, what's your situation? Why did it go that way? You know, and I'm asking a lot of questions, question-based sales. And then when they give you an opening, screw the script, you know,
Right.
Go through that opening. When they open up about something and they say, well, you know, my grandfather passed away and he didn't have any insurance. And, you know, we just couldn't really afford that. And that's what I'm worried about. Well, it's no longer, no, I completely understand. So anyways, here's what we're going to do. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. You know, I had a grandfather as well. Thankfully, he did have the insurance because I know we probably would have lost everything. And I hear where you're coming from. It's, you know, what's got you looking into it right now, though? Why'd you wait so long? You know, or like I'm asking questions based around what they told me. I'm no longer just reading a script.
Yeah.
Because it's like I want to connect with their life because they do have one. They're real human beings.
Sure.
So,
And it's an emotional sale. Like, it's easy to lose sight of this, especially, you know, like you said, over the phone, you're not seeing them. But there's shit that happened in their life for them to end up in your lead system. There's a lot of times it's a death. It's even like this would happen a lot. Like a guy would go to the doctors and they get diagnosed with high blood pressure. Now they think they're going to die and shit. Like, I gotta fill this out. But there's some emotional trigger that made them fill that out. You're not cold calling. So you got to bring them back to that in some way, shape, or form.
and one of the things there's not a rhyme or reason to it, but when I've sold, everybody always asks me, how do I overcome this objection? I'm like, well, just listen to me sell. I don't really get that objection.
Yeah.
Because it's like I position it the way. One of my favorite questions to ask always is going to be, now, Mike, if something happened to you yesterday, I don't want to put anything in the future. I don't know what future, but let's say something happened yesterday. What do you actually need as far as the insurance goes? What is Mary going to be covered? Do you have a house bill, a car payment? Like if something happened yesterday, what does that look like for Mary? I want you to explain that to me. Because like they fill out the form, they want $100,000. Right. Realistically, they can't afford it. They can't qualify for it. I don't care about what they want. Mike, what do you need?
What they want.
What do you need? You know, and that's what I'm diving into. And I'm always going to ask them, if something happened to you yesterday, what does that look like for Mary? And they open up about that. It's like, well, you just told me that Mary's screwed if she don't get this insurance.
Yep.
So this is easy. We're done here. Let's wrap it up. Do an application.
Now, have you had any death claims?
I want to say I've had like 2 or 3.
2? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that change your approach at all? I know, like, for a lot of people, for me, it makes it real. Like, it's one thing to talk about life insurance, talk about someone dying, but then when you experience that, this is a client that I met, I put something in place, he died.
See, it's so different because over the phone, you're not meeting them. You know, you actually but yes, like it helped for sure. But honestly, when, you know, the first person that passed away and I got a phone call saying like, hey, did she ever set the insurance up? I see the text message on her phone and she didn't set it up. That's what was like.
That was more impactful.
Yeah,
that makes
100%.
sense. Yeah.
Because it's like, well,
when was
the
that?
people that died and I sold them, like, they're good. They're taken care of. You know,
Got it.
God bless.
Yeah.
But the ones that I wasn't capable of selling because I wasn't good enough and they're calling me, it's like, damn, we got to take this a little more serious.
Yeah. So what have you done differently? Or do you remember the first time you got a call like that? Where
I've only ever had one. And it was when I was still down in Dallas.
Yeah.
And thankfully they called me while I was in like a 2-day rut of not selling.
Okay.
You know, and then that's when it was like, all right, you know, no more like just live by the fly and, you know, just sling and sling and sling. It's like, that's when I started getting real emotional with them, started being a little more serious, like started actually talking to them about what's going to happen, you know, like what does that look like?
Right.
You know, and just started like being a lot more present in the phone calls. Like before, I'm slinging insurance on my phone, scrolling, like kicking it with the boys. You know, I say something, I put them on mute, we're laughing. This is, you know, slinging. But then it was like, all right, we got to take this serious. We got to start serving people.
That's the thing, like, you know, it's relatively simple to get an insurance license, right? Like, you study, you take a test, like, it's not...
It takes you a week.
It takes you a week, a few days, some people. So the entry point is low, which means that just about anybody can get a license, right? But it does take a certain individual to be able to sell. Like you have to have a genuine concern about other people, because it's more than just you doing this, selling, making money for yourself. When shit like that happens, when you get the
100%.
call like, hey, and I think most of us have gotten that call at least once where, like the worst one for me, it wasn't even, I never even got out to the person. It was someone that I had like 7 appointments booked. You know, they reschedule this, that. I go out, it's a no-show. The husband's not there. Then the last time I called Stanley, the wife goes, yeah, no, I wish we would have met with you. My husband passed away last week. I was like in his 50s. It wasn't like 80-year-old guy I'm trying to chase down. I'm like, damn, I should have just randomly door knocked. I should have done more.
Yeah.
You know, and it does. It change. If you're the right person, it changes you. It makes you take
big.
this more serious, knowing that it ain't all fun and games. We have a lot of fun. We do. We're talking about a trip. There's a trip to Puerto Rico next year, convention. We got big speakers. You guys do lock-ins. I'm sure there's dinners and stuff. Like, we have a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, if we don't do our job, people die without life insurance. And their families are screwed.
And people don't even think about it like that. Like, there's people out there that are still saying, like, life insurance is a scam.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, yes, there's people that screw people over with life insurance.
Right.
But that's not actually what life insurance is. Like, there's a real side of this where, like, you hear it all the time. Like, people are passing away. And, like, you know, the final expense ones where you cover the funeral and stuff like that so people aren't buried in debt from that. That's cool.
Yeah.
But, like, the ones that, like, the guy passed away at 40, 50 years old, and he had that $500,000 that set his son up for life, you know, took care of him when his father's no longer there, things like that. Those are the ones that are
That's
like,
life-changing,
this
dude.
is serious.
And then think about the opposite. If that policy wasn't in place, what happens to the kid?
Kids, you know, either homeless,
Yeah.
mom struggling, gets into drugs, starts doing bad things.
100%,
Like,
dude.
there's dark paths that people can lead down, you
Yep.
know? So,
And we have the ability for a lot of people to at least prevent that from happening, which is a big deal.
or soften the blow, like
Yep.
help them out, give them time to breathe, you know, because in those first 30 days, that first year, it's like your brain's a whirl, you know, it's one thing after another. Everything's going bad, even if nothing's going bad, just because you're mad at life. Like, why'd they take them, you know?
Right.
But the reality is, if they just have time to breathe, all their financial problems can just be taken care of. They can just, you know, take time to mourn or whatever. You
Absolutely.
know, they can recover.
All right, let's get back to what we kind of opened with, learning how to sell. I think most people watching, they at least know that process. I mean, we had a, what was his name, Junior on our Rising Star last week. Like, dude, just find someone who's doing it, do what they're doing.
Follow
Right? That's probably the easiest of the three, learning how to sell, the simplest. But then teaching someone how to sell, what's the key to that?
Obviously, throughout the time where you're learning how to sell, like I said, make sure you're teaching yourself. You
Yeah.
know? And that gives you a little bit of time, but also look to create something that's replicatable. You know, take the time to curate the script. Take the time to, you know, try different leads and experiment. And then when you're there, like, selling's easy if you believe in it and you have confidence.
Right.
So we say you have 48 hours. An agent's first 48 hours in the office, ideally I'd like for it to be 24. It doesn't always work.
Yeah.
An agent's first 48 hours in the office, they have to get a deal. Now, whether that's me hopping on the phone and helping them close it so that they can see off those leads I sent them, there's deals.
Yeah.
Or that's just me sitting there, you know, telling them some words to say or whatever and helping them fill out the application for their first time. Like, just being present with that agent in their first 48 hours and getting them that first deal so they believe in it. That's huge. Once
Yeah.
they believe in it and they're like, oh, shit, this is real, they'll work as hard as they need to do it again.
Right. I mean, you remember what it's like to get paid on your first pot. It was your grandparents,
Yeah,
but like,
it was lit, though.
right?
It just
like, you
came,
think
like-
about what you did. You were there for what? An hour or something? I mean, your grandparents maybe a little longer.
Yeah,
but doing the actual application.
It was quick.
Quick.
Yeah, I probably spent 20 minutes on one, 10
Yeah.
on the other.
And then,
Because it's not like they were giving me objections.
Right.
You know, we're rolling.
but honestly, now grandparents may be different, but a lot of times family and friends are the hardest ones to sell because they'll give you all this shit because they know you, right?
Yeah.
But just getting that first win, dude, that was
Huge.
probably huge for you. And you were struggling first
Next
couple
day, I
weeks.
got the commission statement. I was like, oh, this is lit.
How much you get paid?
It was like $800-900
$800
combined.
bucks.
They were like $50 a piece.
Yeah, but still, to hang out with your grandparents, you give them something that they are going to need at some point, right? And soften the blow for whoever. I don't know, it was your mom, dad's side, but to do that and then get paid $800-900 the next day,
It was awesome.
and that was when you were going through those first 2 weeks of just
Nothing.
getting your
That
ass
was my
kicked, right?
first 2 deals. Like 2 weeks
Yeah.
in, it was rough.
Now, if you didn't have those first two, not to say you would have quit, but how much did that impact your belief level getting paid that quick?
It wasn't even that. Like, there was no point when I walk into anything in life. I'm a believer. I'm
Yeah.
gonna make. Not that I believe in the industry or the
Sure.
social, I believe in myself, but just like being paid gave me that cushion to be able to continue to fund leads and continue to keep driving.
Yeah.
And it was like I seen how quick I was paid. I was like, well, shit, I can go 3 weeks without making $1. Because if I make $1 in week 4,
Right.
that pays
I'm
my
good.
bills.
Yeah.
It's gonna pay me quickly. So it was
Yep.
dope to see.
And I think that we used to almost treat that as a test. Like if we could go back 15 years and I recruited you, Stanley, one of my first challenges would be, before I give you leads, sell some people you know. They're like, well, but you have leads, Mike. Yeah, I know, but if you don't trust, if there aren't 2 or 3 people in your life that trust you enough to allow you to protect them, how can I trust you to protect the families that filled out these forms?
100%.
It was more of a challenge to see, do you believe in it enough to go talk to your grandma, to your aunt, your uncle, your dad, your cousin, somebody? Do you believe in what we do enough to do that? And are you willing to get uncomfortable? That's why people don't do it. It's not because, I don't want to upset my grandma. No, you don't want to be uncomfortable. Because it is uncomfortable.
Hey, it feels like sometimes you're just like, asking them for money, but that's not what it is. You're
Right.
providing a service.
Absolutely. That was always a test for us. All right, so teaching someone to sell. What is the next step is the one where I believe a lot of people don't have this yet, but this is the one when you figure this out, you can grow a massive agency because you can then duplicate yourself. What's the key to teaching someone to teach other people to sell?
Number one, transparency and authenticity. When I'm building my business, whatever financial troubles I go through, whatever chargebacks I go through, whatever, the good and the bad. Like, I'm not just constantly flexing on my people, whatever. Like, in the times I didn't have no money, they knew. The
Right.
times I'm stretching myself thin or whatever. Like, I want them to know every aspect of what I'm doing while I'm doing it. Everybody in the agency knows everybody's comps. They know my comp, Like, I'm not hiding anything because I need them to see exactly how I'm doing it and what I'm doing because I want them to get there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to build a business off them. I'm trying to build a business with them. And that's so important. So many people fail to do that.
Right.
Like, they want to keep everybody on the outside like everybody's out to get them. They don't want to be transparent. They don't want to be authentic. That stunts growth.
Yeah.
So that was step one. Then step two is not necessarily teaching them, forcing them. You don't have a choice. Here's some agents. Get them paid. You don't have a choice. You need help. You hit me up for help, but you try it on your own first. Like, I'm going to give you agents. I'm going to make you start growing. I'll take their phone and I'll post on social media for them. Like, you don't want to post on social media, you're posting. If you don't want to do that, I'll record a video and post it on my social media. You definitely don't want to do that. I got a lot more followers.
Yeah.
Like, I'm forcing people to step into these leadership positions. I'll walk in, hey, I'm running a meeting at 7:30. I'll walk in, hey, by the way, Alex is running this meeting. Alex, get up here. Oh, what are you doing? I'm not playing. Get up here and run the meeting.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where you thought this was a joke. Get up here. Perfect. Alex, take the floor, and then I'll go sit down. Like, run it.
You're getting people out of their comfort zone.
And even if they have no agents to lead,
Right.
I'm teaching them to lead themselves,
Yeah.
right? Or I'm teaching them to be a leader in my agency. I'm making them run meetings. I'm making them send messages in Discord. I'm hopping on Zoom calls, giving them a segment. Like, I'm pushing them into the spotlight. I'm forcing them to become that leader. That way, when it's time for them, they're going to be prepared.
Right. Well, dude, it's no shock that you are where you are based off of the mentality. Like, it reminds me, honestly, I'm not bullshitting, it reminds me a lot of what we did early on. Like, we were much smaller. It was a different ball game, but Sean had that same mentality. I remember, I was here, not here, the other company, probably 90 days. I got really good at the phone script, booking appointments. We had a boot camp, so it's kind of almost like not a lock-in, it was a training, right? So we probably had 50 people in the room. Not even, probably 25. Sean's like, you're training on phone script. Dude, I've never spoken in front of anyone.
That's legs start shaking. You get
Dude,
nervous.
listen. So, but I was good on the phone. at that point, dude, you give me 30 leads, I'm booking 29 appointments. Like, I was really good on the phone. I was decent in the home, but I didn't have no agents. I was just trying to sell, trying to make some money, dude, to retire my wife from her job and have some kids and shit, right? So he's like, get up. So I get up. And I thought I had some stuff planned, and I'm watching Sean, bro. Sean can talk. He can talk for 6 hours if you let him. So I'm like, yeah, I'll get up and train. Dude, I got up. I went through the phone script. I'm turning beet red. I had a bottle of water. I'm just like drinking the water, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, that's pretty much it. It was like a minute and a half. I'm dripping sweat. There was like 20 people, if that. Sean had to come up and like save me, like go through some role play. But I got uncomfortable. And then I realized, well, shit, it really wasn't that bad. I probably didn't need to get all that worked up. And then next thing you know, I'm the one introducing Sean, training 3-4 times. But it started with him pushing me out of my same shit you're doing with your agents.
Force him to.
You have to.
And that's what I was saying. Back in the day, I was a lot tougher on him than I am now. I'm a little softer. Back in the day, it was like you didn't have an option.
Right.
Right? Like, yeah, it's great. You're 1099 self-employed, but you want to be rich, you want to be broke.
Correct.
Oh, you want to be rich? Okay, so then do what I said. You know? And we'd go out, because we were all boys, we were all family. We'd go out. We'd get into wrestling matches. We'd put somebody up against the wall. Like, listen here, MFer.
Yep.
We're getting this done because there's no effing way I'm waking up tomorrow and we're not building this thing. You know, and it's just pushing people to like, you have to, bro.
Yeah.
Me and you both know. And if they would, like, let's say we really get into it, I'll pull you into a side room. All right, let's cut all the BS. Listen, bro. Me and you both know, dude. This is what you got to do. I know, I'm not ready. When are you going to be ready? Oh, I don't know. You're right. You won't be. So let's just get ready today. Go out there. What's the worst that can happen? You know, and that's what I talk to everybody. Everybody I recruit, everybody I train, everybody that I talk to at all. What is the worst that can happen?
Right.
Oh, you go up there and it sucks.
Yeah.
Try again.
Right.
Like, okay, you quit your job at a warehouse where you make $4,000 a month. You have no bills. You live with your parents. You start here. You try it for 30 days. It doesn't work out. Go to another warehouse.
Right.
With past warehouse experience, so you get hired immediately.
Sure.
It sounds terrible.
Right.
Really terrible. Or come here for 30 days and you make a killing, change your entire life. I'd risk it.
Yeah. And just realize what you have. Like, that's why it is good to work with people that came from nothing or that have done hard work. Like, you did plumbing with your dad.
Yeah.
Not easy.
Dude, I've been in upside down in sewer tanks just fixing a
That's
pipe.
hard work.
Crawling through crawl spaces. It's been...
So if I go, hey, Stanley, call these 50 people that already said no and dial for the next 10 hours, is it really hard work?
No.
Like,
And you're in an
comparison.
air-conditioned building, feet kicked up, sweatpants,
DoorDash some food when you're hungry.
DoorDash
Like,
some food.
Yeah. Is it really that hard work?
No.
No. Dude, I used to build houses. I used to do roof, like 100 degrees, 80% humidity. It seems like we always had a roof to do on the hottest day of the freaking year, right? But, dude, that's hard work. Fiberglass all on your skin. When you're doing the roof, you're up there till it's done because it might rain tomorrow. You're up there 10, 12 hours, 14-hour days.
And the other thing as well is like, so we go back to transparency and authenticity. Here's the deal. I am never going to sugarcoat anything. Me and my girl, we argue all the time because it's like, she'll ask me something. I'm like, you want me to tell you what you want to hear? Or can I just actually tell you the truth? And I'm always going to tell you the truth. Right. But like, that's how I am with all my agents. It's like they come to me, they're complaining about a problem. I'm like, bro, are you going to quit?
Right.
He's like, no, I'm not going to quit. So then what are we talking about?
Correct.
Go after it. Fix it. You know, I'm also like going to call someone up. Like, you got to be able to read people, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, if I want to build somebody up and turn them into a leader, I need to understand them. I need to know everything going on in their life. Yep. I need to know what their relationship used to be like with their parents. I need to know, you know, what's their like, do they have a girlfriend? Do they not? You know, do they believe in themselves? Do they not? Are they, like, I need to know all these things, and I can't do that if I'm not close with them. So I got to go out to dinners with them. I got to invite them over to my house. Like, and whether I want to do these things or not, like I said, I'm cool sitting in a crib alone. Yeah. You know, by myself, watching some TV, just being alone. I'm super okay with that. But that's not going to build me a multi-million-dollar business. It's not going to build me a billion-dollar business. I have to understand people and get involved in their lives and things like that. And so I did everything I could with my team, understanding them. And then you also, like, you got to use some of that against them. It's like, bro, you were bullied in high school. You want to go back to that? Like, you know, bringing up these things that happen in their life. Like, you know, you lost your dad and you've complained about it for the last 5 years. And, like, don't get me wrong, dude, I 100% understand.
Right.
But do you want to make him happy, or you want to just live life disappointed that he's gone? Well, I want to make him happy. This is how we do it, you know? And like, you got to get involved in their lives. Yeah. You have to.
And it's, you know, solution-based. Like, we have a rule here, and Sean started this years ago. You don't have a complaint. If you're talking about a problem, there's no solution, you're bitching. If you can't solve that problem, stop talking about it. Meaning, focus on the shit you can control. Well, the leads, Stanley, the guy, you can't control who's on the other side of the form. You can control your attitude. You can control your approach. You can control what you say and what you don't say. Oh, every time I recruit someone, they do X. You can't control who's on the other side of the recruit, but you can control what you do. And if you can't control it, why are you wasting time talking about it?
There's one piece of advice I'm going to give to anybody. Every single thing that happens is your fault.
Right.
Don't blame anything else, dude.
Yep.
It's just always your fault. You know, and sometimes it's your fault and you can't fix it. Sometimes it's your fault and you're going to learn from it. You know, like I said, I had a $100,000 a month agency for 12 months. Mm-hmm. Recruiting, losing agents, going at it with the agents, can't get agents paid. Like, I'm failing over and over and over. And never once was I like, oh, FFL sucks, the leads suck, you know, this or that. Like, it was always like, okay, well, what do I need to change? What do I need to do better?
Looking back now, why were you stuck at 100 for so long?
That's a good question. I would say the reality of it is I had a key realization about 7-8 months in.
Okay.
Instead of expecting everybody to be like me, I started expecting everybody to become themselves, you know? And for the longest time, for like a year straight, it's like, why can't you just act like me? Like, why do we got to do this? You know, just do everything I say, when I say, how I say it. Just be me. Yeah. And then I was like, it's not realistic. No. What am I doing?
Because they'll try for a little bit, but it's not authentic.
Yeah, that's not authentic. Why don't I just help everybody become themselves?
Yeah.
You know, and that's when I started diving into their lives, you know? Mm-hmm. Who cares about Stanley's life? Yeah, that's great, Stanley. You're making money. You brought me in. That doesn't help me. How am I going to make money? So I started diving into their lives, you know, and helping them become themselves, helping them reach their potential, you know? And I stopped expecting people to act like me, you know? I'm going to control what I can control.
Right. Help them be the best version of themselves, whatever that is.
When I started doing that, we started booming.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, you guys are definitely booming. I also want to give a shout out to our agent of the week. So you don't know this fella. You don't know Riyadh Morsali, do you?
No.
You guys probably shouldn't meet because prior to him working with us, dude, he had a career like playing poker. So we did a podcast. Yeah, actually, we got to have him back. So shout out to my boy Riyadh. Sold $35K last month. But, dude, he made a lot of money playing poker, and then some stuff happened, and he got into this business. But so maybe y'all shouldn't. Yeah, as much as you, I don't know. But you're on an upswing this week, or this year.
As far as
gambling.
Yeah. No, I'm probably, I think I'm net profit, just over $1 million, 1.1, 1.2.
Well, maybe y'all should link up then. I don't know. Yeah.
Blackjack, though.
Okay.
Poker.
Oh, he was a poker guy.
See, poker, I just like, my problem is like everybody I play with, I got a way bigger bankroll, so I'm just all in every hand. All in. Who's going to keep up? I'll buy back in 10 times, but eventually when you go all in, I'll win and you're done.
Right.
So I'm not the best at poker. I just like to shove.
Got it. All right. Well, maybe he can switch to blackjack. I don't know. But shout out to Riyadh, agent of the week. And, dude, shout out to you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. It's awesome to see that. I mean, 22?
22.
It's crazy. You're a long way to go. There's a lot left.
I know. And the best thing to see is, like, everybody we're bringing in, they're doing it in half the time I did it. They're 18, 19, 20, 21. You know? Like that's I said, awesome. At 21, I was disappointed I didn't do it sooner, but now I'm giving those people the opportunity I didn't have to be able to do it sooner. Yeah. So, and for everybody out there that is trying to build an agency, you know, build yourself and then build other people. Right. You know? Don't try to change people. Don't do any of that. Just help them build themselves up, you know? Build that belief in themselves.
Take care. It's like that whole airplane thing, dude. Put your mask on first. Because if you don't, you try to save everyone around you, your ass is going to die. Put your shit on first, and it's take care of your shit here first. But the way you really get to that next level is then helping other people get to where you were.
And the other thing I'll say as well is that transparency and authenticity goes to social media as well. Please don't just be one of those other sales gurus that's just saying what people want to hear. Because even if you build it up quick, if it's not authentic, you'll lose it. Correct. And I think that's what a lot of people realize. It's not always the quickest. Yeah. It's the strongest.
Oh, people can see through the bullshit.
You're in life to last the longest, you know, and that's the reality of it. You know, when I was building my agency, it was never like, we got to get it done today. It was like, we got to stay alive. Right. And that's what we do every day, is just focus on that. And building that foundation is so important. Don't bring in 100 people. Bring in 10 and teach them how to bring in 10. Right. Teach them to build it the same way that you built it. That way it'll last forever.
Yep. I'd say it's more work on the front end, but it's a lot easier on the back end. It is, dude. It's like, do you want to work hard now or later? I'd rather work hard now, dude.
100%.
You know, so, well, hey, good shit. Keep it up. Keep kicking ass. Can't wait. 100%. I can't wait to see. You said 40 of your guys are going to hit Hall of Fame, right?
We're
You
going
told me
for
that.
40 this year.
40. All right, you got 20 already on track, so we're gonna get 20
got some
more,
work to do,
dude.
but
Yeah,
we'll do it.
good. I
know,
can't. I do.
so.
I hope you do. I want to give out 40 Hall of Fame jackets to your team on stage.
That'll be
Get
the
a
most
big-ass
ever, no?
picture. I believe so.
I don't think
I'm
I've-
gonna check some stats. So you got me thinking now.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody with like 10 from a direct group like our size.
No, definitely not 40, dude. So
We're gonna
let's
do it.
make it happen,
Let's
bro.
get after it,
All
and
right.
we'll do 10 mil at the end of this year.
Love it. Well, good
10
stuff,
million
dude.
months, so.
Thanks again for coming up.
course,
I really
bro.
appreciate that. And guys, thanks for checking us out. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check my man. Give him your social.
If Stan was rich on everything,
There you go.
Instagram and YouTube.
Check out Stanley. And guys, thanks for joining. Subscribe. You know where to find us every week right here on The Next Level. We'll see you next week.